The 8 moodiest zodiac signs. Let's talk about it, okay? I'm Lamar Townsend. I'm a natural intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic, psychic, tarot reader, and I would love to do a personal private. This necklace is glistening, y'all. Yes. I would love to do a personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading for you or a birth chart reading. Please contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com for your own reading. If you have any questions, please check out the FAQ section and the personal ethics section, okay? Also, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification button, which is the bell right next to the subscribe button, so that you get a notification whenever I upload a new wonderful video, okay? I would also love it if you would, not subscribe. Well, subscribe, but also like me on Facebook. Facebook.com/Lamar Townsend official, and like me, or follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend, okay? I just woke up, people. It's 9:30 a.m. We're going to get it together, okay? We're going to get there, all right? Now, let's talk about the 8 moodiest zodiac signs in my opinion. Now, I have to say that I did this video a couple months ago, but something happened with the video. The sound wasn't working, so I stopped recording the sound solely on my MacBook and attached my mic to the my computer, because I'm like, look, I cannot keep filming these videos and having my sound compromised, okay? So we're redoing this video. I don't remember what I said in the last video because it was so long ago. And yeah, I don't even know if these are the same signs. Like, sometimes we just go through things, we learn new things, and we change and we grow, right? So maybe this is an updated list, all right? With that being said, the 8 moodiest zodiac signs, in my opinion, people, all right? Aquarius, Gemini, in no order, no specific order. Aquarius, Gemini, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Virgo, Scorpio, and Aries. Now, why these 8 zodiac signs, you ask? Well, let's get into it really quickly, alright? Let's start with Aquarius, okay? Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Now, Saturn gives Aquarius that moody type of energy. Saturn is the type of planet that wants things to go its way. And when things don't go Saturn's way, Saturn gets upset, Saturn gets moody. Saturn is not fun to be around when things are not going, their way. Like, someone who has heavy Saturn influence, it's not going to be fun to be around when they're mad, when they're upset, when they're, frustrated, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Saturn wants to fix the problem now. How can I fix the problem now so I can get what I want? This thing is standing in my way, and I need to find a way to get it out of my way and keep moving forward on my path. You also have to remember that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, so they're always moving forward. They're always striving to be better. They're always striving to, do, good for others and for themselves, But sometimes things get in the way, and that does not make Aquarius happy. So sometimes Aquariuses get moody. And just, life in general. Sometimes things in life don't go your way. Sometimes we just have bad days, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we wake up, we don't feel like going to work, we don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? But I will say about Aquarius is that, even when they don't feel like doing anything, that Uranus energy keeps them so uplifted, so, happy, go lucky, even in the midst of being moody. And, like, you will never be able to tell when an Aquarius is moody unless you're squinting and looking at them and observing them when they're not looking at you, observing them and looking at them, all right? Because if they see you looking at them and observing them, then they're going to try and engage you, you know what I'm saying? Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, if you're observing someone, you don't want them to see you, looking, so you have to hide, right? All right. This is becoming a different video at this point. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Now, it's interesting because you would think Mercury loves to talk, Mercury loves to think. Why would Mercury be moody? Well, sometimes thinking too much and talking too much, especially when you're thinking about things maybe that are stressful or scary, or you're talking to people that it's like talking to a brick wall, that can kind of make you moody, right? Sometimes I will say Gemini doesn't like to talk. Sometimes Gemini can be really reticent. I read this word sometimes. I read this word a long time ago. It was a description about Gemini. I think it was like recitant. I think that's what it was, a reticent. I don't know. But it's like, basically what that word means is that, like, sometimes Geminis will, engage you. They're ruled by Mercury. Like I said, Mercury's communication. But then they'll have moments where they're like, okay, I'm done talking. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? And it's so weird because they'll, engage you. You'll be having such a good conversation, and the next thing you know, they're like, okay, bye. I'm over here doing this now. And maybe that's not moodiness, but it can kind of be moodiness. Geminis love to talk, they love to interact with people, but they also love to get their work done. They love to solve their problems. They always have to be doing something. That Mercury energy always makes them have to do something. Um, and kind of like Aquarius, when things aren't going Gemini's way, Gemini will do something. Gemini has to do something. Gemini has to watch something, do something that will stimulate their mind, take them out of whatever element that put them in that moodiness in the first place. So I will say that Geminis, when they're feeling moody, unlike a lot of these other signs, they will do something about it. They're like, I'm feeling moody. I need to go to the mall. I'm feeling moody. I need to call, Bill. I need to call Daquan. I need to call, Shazeb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to call someone who is gonna be able to talk me through whatever I'm feeling, someone I can confide in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Gemini's that person. But nonetheless, Gemini can get moody, okay? Let's not get it twisted. Capricorn, oh Lord. Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn, so, born December 27th, so I have that Sag cusp, going, kind of that Sag cusp going on there. So, I mean, I can definitely get moody. Caps definitely get moody. Caps are solely influenced by Saturn, so whereas Aquarius at least has that Uranus energy to kind of push them forward and propel them forward through whatever moodiness they may be going through. Capricorn is solely ruled by Saturn. So when you are solely ruled by Saturn and you have no other influence, on you, it's a little bit tough, okay? You definitely get moody because life does not always go your way. And Saturn makes sure that life does not always go your way, okay? So really, for a Capricorn, it's about learning to fight through that moodiness, learning to work through that moodiness. Now, I will say, maybe like Aquarius and Gemini, and maybe it's because they're air signs and Cap is an earth sign, but kind of water too, because it's the sea goat. Aquarius and Gemini are more likely, okay, I'm feeling moody. I need to do something about this to make me feel better, to make me feel lighter, to take me out of this feeling. Capricorn might be more so likely to kind of sit in that feeling, get stuck in that feeling, stay in that feeling, become pessimistic if they don't kind of take on those Aquarius and Gemini traits and work to get themselves out of that space. Now it's interesting because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Capricorn is a people person. Let's not get it twisted. But Capricorn is very selective of who they hang out with, very selective of who they talk to, who they share their secret emotions with. You know what I'm saying? They're very protective of those types of things. Capricorns like to appear strong at all times. So it's Capricorn doesn't always have someone to kind of be strong for them. So Capricorns, when they get moody, they like Aquarius, they're not fun to be around. They're not, the most motivating, the most happy person to be around sometimes when they're moody. But the great thing about Capricorn is that people around Capricorn know sometimes, especially the people that know Capricorn well, know when they're moody, and they know how to bring the Capricorn out of that moodiness. You know what I'm saying? Typically, it takes a little bit of some time for Capricorn to learn to take them out of their moodiness, and to learn to learn to take themselves out of their moodiness, like more quickly. You know what I'm saying? Rather than sitting in it, getting stuck in it, and then months down the line, weeks down the line, after you've not showered for how many days, after haven't gone to the grocery store, there's no food in the fridge, Capricorn finally has to pull themselves out of their moodiness. But it's like, you could have just bypassed all of those weeks of struggle and frustration by just taking a note from Aquarius and Gemini, and feeling the feeling, feeling the moodiness, maybe even like rationalizing it. You guys know you love to rationalize things and figuring out why you. Now, I will say this, Capricorn, the most important thing is to feel it, okay? Feel the feeling and then rationalize it. Think, why am I feeling this? And then find a way to fix it. Find a way to improve your mood, okay? That's like what it's all about with a Capricorn. But Capricorns can definitely be moody because also their polar opposite sign is Cancer. Alright, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. Let's get into Cancer really quickly. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon. Moon. Mood. Interesting, right? Moon, mood. Well, if we think about it, the moon is the thing, is the planet, is the whatever it is in the sky, okay, the rock, the holy grail in the sky that you know, moves the tides of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? And if we think of it that way, sometimes the tides of the ocean get a little bit moody sometimes too, right? So it's interesting because that is so symbolic to cancers, in my opinion. Like, they are literally like the tides of the ocean. Sometimes it's calm and peaceful, and it's so peaceful to be in that atmosphere when the waves are just, splashing very lightly, and you hear them, and it's just, you can walk on the beach, and especially at night, like when the moon is like lighting the moment, like, it's just a moment, like. But then you have those moments where the tides are going back and forth, and the wind is scary, like, like that's a cancer. Literally, cancers, um the water signs are very moody, but cancers especially are super duper moody, okay? They're very, very psychic. They're very, very perceptive. They're very, very in touch with their emotions and other people's emotions sometimes, for the better or for the worse, right? Um, sometimes cancer doesn't actually like being around certain people because of their energy. They just kind of absorb it even when they don't want to, right? So, cancers can definitely be moody in that way, and like Capricorn, it can be hard to get Cancer out of that moodiness. You know what I'm saying? Cancer is definitely social. Cancers love to be around people, especially family, friends. But they also like their comfort. So they may be like, I don't feel like leaving home, but you guys can come over. You guys can come over here, and But then, like, after a while, they may kick you out and be like, okay, I want to be alone again. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cancer is just, back and forth like that when they're moody. And I think for Cancer, it's all about finding that groundedness in those moments, finding ways to ground yourself. And, kind of feel the feeling, of course. I don't have to tell you this, Cancer. You feel feelings all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but also rationalizing the feeling, figuring out why you feel the way you do. Is this your feeling or someone else's feelings? And then going from there. And I think this is really important for Cancer, because a lot of times, Cancer, I do have to say that you guys do spend time around people whose energy is like, it's like an energy vampire, and you just absorb their energy. And I think taking a moment to step back, kind of detach yourself, rationalize, and figure out, is this your energy, or these your feelings, or someone else's? And then maybe once you realize that it's not your feelings, actually it's this person's feelings, you can like kind of actually figure out, do I want this person in my life then? Are they going through are they moody themselves, or is this just their everyday, you know what I'm saying, atmosphere that they live in? So cancers can definitely be moody. All the water signs can. Um, But a Cancer will isolate themselves when they're moody, like Capricorn. A Cancer can definitely be a little bit mean, okay, a little bit crabby, all right, a little bit snippy, all right. Their pincers will pinch you when they're mean, okay, when they're mad, when they're moody. So I think it's best to, kind of steer clear, and just be there, in case they need you, right? Like a Cancer, or a Capricorn. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. Now, Neptune is a very spiritual sign, a very spiritual planet. Neptune actually kind of creates a very thin veil between the spiritual and the physical. Now, I don't know if you are a light worker yourself. I don't know if you are a healer yourself. I don't know if you are a psychic, or if you're into the metaphysics yourself. But you know that in the spiritual line of work, when you work with the spirit realm and the physical realm, it can cause you to be very moody, because you feel feelings so much, because you see things, you like sense things, and it causes you to clam up sometimes, and sometimes not be able to differentiate what's real and fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's also Neptune. But this can cause Pisces to be moody. But the thing about Pisces is that they are the type to talk through their moodiness. They're the type that will find a way to work through that. It doesn't mean that they don't get moody. Nonetheless, they're a moody sign. Um, but a lot of times Pisces has a reason to be moody. Whereas sometimes the signs, just don't have things going their way. And I'm not saying that that's not a reason to be moody. You know what I'm saying? But Pisces, um, I feel like has more legit reasons to be moody. because I think Pisces is a very gentle sign, and I think sometimes Pisces has the tendency to be very trusting of people. Um, Kind of like Cancer, sometimes the wrong people. So it's kind of like the energy of kind of absorbing people's energies, and not being able to differentiate, you know what I'm saying? Which is why it's so important to kind of protect your energy, right, Pisces? So, you know, kind of like Cancer in the way that your moodiness can definitely be you, but it can also be you picking up other people's energies. So, you know what I'm saying? It's important to really watch the people you hang around with, Pisces, just to make sure that you aren't, absorbing negative energies from those people, right? Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and we kind of talked about what Mercury was about with Gemini. Mercury's a very thinking, talking sign. Now, I will say that Virgos love to talk, but Virgos are more thinking, whereas Geminis are more talking, right? Now, we all know when we think too much, I don't know about you, and maybe it's because I'm a Virgo rising and a Capricorn sun, but when when I think too much, I tend to get moody. It also depends on what I'm thinking about, but sometimes it doesn't matter what I'm thinking about because I think too much. I overanalyze too much, which causes me to be moody. You know what I'm saying? Because when you think too much and you overanalyze too much, it's almost like just going in circles and circles and circles, in your head. And a lot of times, Virgo focuses on things that they can't really change. So when you have things that you can't change, but you're in it, you know what I'm saying? And you have to remember Virgos are analytical, they're detailed, so they're always seeing problems in situations, you know what I'm saying? But when you can't fix those problems and you have to stay stuck in it, oh my gosh, it makes you so moody as a Virgo. It makes you so freaking moody. And you don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to interact with anyone. You don't want anyone to pick your brain. You know what I'm saying? I think what's best for Virgo in those moments is to really, like, get a book, go to a nice coffee shop. You have to remember, Virgo, that you're ruled by Mercury, so you like being around people, okay? You may not always like talking to people, but you like being around people, right? So, I think being around that energy of conversation, of communication, but you're in your own world over here in your book thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you do, Virgo. Do that. Focus on your own world. Don't bring people into your world when you're moody because a lot of times they'll move things. They'll pick things up, and put them down in the wrong place and that makes you mad. So, Virgo, just do you for a little while and then come back to us, okay, when you're moody, all right? Because you know you better than you. Or you know you better than we do, all right? Just saying. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. Now, Pluto is the planet of transitions, transformations, the life cycles of life and death, right? That of the occult, that kind of underneath the surface energy. And then we have Mars, which is a very assertive, sexual sign or planet, right? Now, Scorpio is a water sign. Scorpio is a very deeply intuitive water sign. Scorpio is a sign that sees beyond the veil of BS. All right, a lot of times. Scorpio is also the sign that doesn't like being around fake people, doesn't like being around people that they don't like, doesn't like being around certain environments, certain situations, certain moments going on, right? So Scorpio is the type, um, kind of like Cancer and Capricorn that will get moody, but will isolate themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when the Scorpio's moody, they'll be quiet. And Scorpio definitely has those certain people that they go to, that they trust, that they know can uplift their mood. But Scorpio also knows what they need to do to get their mood back on track. They are the type that does research. So they're the type to, research, why am I feeling this way? Why is this person acting this way? Why does this person think this way? They're psychological. So, kind of like Aquarius and Gemini, and I'll throw Pisces in there. Scorpio is like the type to do something about their moodiness, a lot of times. And like I was saying, getting to the root of the moodiness, I think, is one of the biggest solutions. You know what I'm saying? Feeling it and then getting to the root, and that's what Scorpio does. They feel it and they get to the root of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they do. They get to the root of things. They get to the below the surface of things. Um, Now, I will say when Scorpio gets moody, they can be mean. They can definitely be mean and not nice with that Mars energy. But there's also a side of them that's very sarcastic as well when they get moody. You know, like that's I think how you can tell when a Scorpio is moody when they're sarcastic and they're a little bit mean. All right. Aries is also ruled by Mars, and Mars, as we were kind of talking about. Sorry, my nose is stuffed up. Mars is kind of the planet of aggression, assertiveness, sexuality, war, destruction, things of that nature. So by nature, Aries can be a little bit moody. Maybe temperamental would be the best word, but Aries can definitely get moody. Especially when things aren't going their way, when they're dealing with someone who they deem as stupid, when they're dealing with people who aren't following their lead, because Aries likes to, people to follow their lead, right? Um, Aries is the type to once again do something about their moodiness. I'm going to go out and do, they're very active people, so they may go on a walk, to blow off some steam. And while they're on the walk, they may call up their friend or they may call the person they're upset at and cuss them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Aries does what they need to do, and then they're like, well, I feel better. Now I'm going to move on to the next thing. We're done with that. We're good. You know what I'm saying? So Aries can definitely be moody, but a lot of times you won't know. Sometimes you will know. You may know by the steam coming out of their ears. You may know by the expression on their face. Usually it's like a really mean expression, or just by their actions. Like they may have more oomph in their actions. Like, say like they're moving boxes, an Aries who's like moody or upset will like be very rough with the boxes. This is just an example, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you, and you know what I'm saying? Like an Aries is also the type of person that like when they do that, they are kind of asking for attention, but they want a certain kind of attention. You know what I'm saying? They like to be babied, so it's like a baby. Like, what's wrong, Aries? Are you okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then if they get mad at you, like if they throw something at you, you have to be strong enough to realize, Aries, I realize you're going through something. Like, calm down. Like that is the type of person that Aries needs, I think, or just themselves, more so themselves than anything else when they're feeling moody. So, anyways, these are the 8 zodiac signs and the 8 most moodiest zodiac signs, in my opinion, and why they get moody and how they can overcome that moodiness. Okay, and this was my updated version of my other video. Thank you for listening and watching. I really enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend Official. And contact me for your own personal reading at lamartownsendtarot.com, whether it is a tarot reading, confidential, private tarot reading, or birth chart reading. Email me, lamar.townsend@gmail.com, or contact me on my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, okay? Or comment in the comment section, DM me on Instagram. I mean, I get so many messages from you guys in so many different ways, and I love it. With that being said, love and light, good energy, good thoughts being sent your way, and peace out, guys.